Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Today I'm going to be doing a tag video. I'm going to be doing the my first time tag. Yes, I'm like 2 years late. I think everyone did this tag back in 2013. But some vintage tags kind of came up in my videos you may wish to watch again thing on YouTube home screen, and I watched them and they were fun and I never did it and I want to. And basically I think there's like 4 different versions of the first time tag, so I'm kind of merging all 4, and that is what I'm doing. My first word, I believe, was dad or daddy or dada, something along those lines. I think quite a lot of people's first word is daddy or dada, so that's a little bit boring. However, one of my first words, which has stuck, is basically my eldest sister. She's called Julie. The reason that my mum, or one of the reasons that my mum picked her name, was because it couldn't be shortened, because she didn't like names to be shortened that much. But when I was born, I couldn't say Julie. I could say Juju's. And yeah, now everybody, apart from my mum, even my sister's husband, calls her Juju's. So, sorry mum. I don't think Juju's minds, but I think my mum does a little bit. I haven't got a clue. I was quite a spoiled child and I think I had a lot of stuff. However, one of the first toys I can remember was for my 5th birthday. My dad bought me a Cabbage Patch doll. In the 80s, Cabbage Patch dolls were a big deal, and yes, he bought me this Cabbage Patch doll. She had brown hair and greeny blue eyes, more green than blue, but not perfect green. She had a bottle green dress, and yes, I loved her. Her name was Rosemary, or her name is Rosemary, because she's still here. Rosemary lives in my spare bedroom with the other 15 Cabbage Patch dolls from my collection. Now, before I sound too creepy, they're not like lined up in a row on a shelf. They're like in a box on top of the wardrobe. Just because I've never really brought myself to get rid of them, and you know, original Cabbage Patch dolls from the 80s are actually quite collectible. Not that I think I'd ever sell them. Maybe one day, I don't know, maybe one day I'll have a little girl to give them to, but every time I've kind of moved, or every time I've come to that point where I'm a bit broke, I could sell them, I've never been able to get rid of them. They live in the spare room where they're safe. My first best friend. Now this one's a little bit tricky because I want to say Millie, but it might be basically like my oldest friends, like who were my best friends forever. Like I was a bridesmaid for one of them this year. It's Tamsin and Becca. They've been in vlogs. You went to Tamsin's hen do, you went to Becca's wedding. Yes, you. If you follow the vlog channel, you went to those occasions. And I've been friends with them since playgroup, like before primary school. But I'm gonna say my first best friend would probably be Millie. She's my cousin. She lived just up the road from me, and yes, we were friends from day one really, because she's only, I think I'm born in the April and her birthday's in July, so we were always kind of put together. But yes, she's probably my first best friend. My first pet was Benjamin. He was a miniature Sheltie, so if you ever watched the programme or film Lassie, he was like a miniature one of those, but not like miniature like teacup, but like a small one of those. And he was actually my brother's dog. He bought him when I was 4, and he was a pedigree, and he was called Benjamin Seafree Texas Star. My first fear is rubber gloves. Like, not the type of rubber gloves doctors use or like dentists use, but like the rubber gloves that you wash dishes with, so marigolds. I still have that fear. I don't have them in the house. I'd rather burn my hands and wash dishes like that than have them in the house Like, I can't even have them in for John to use. They make me want to itch myself. They make me feel queasy. When I was a student, I worked at Asda, and in the department I worked on, there was some cleaning that was required and people used rubber gloves. I never did. I just used to put my hands in chemicals. And as a joke, one of my friends put the rubber glove on my shoulder, and we used to wear these uniforms so you didn't feel them do it, and he put the rubber glove on my shoulder and called my name, and I turned to him and it brushed my cheek, and it affected me so badly I had a panic attack and passed out. That's how much I hate rubber gloves. It's literally making me want to like itch my skin off talking about them this much. But yeah, that is my first fear. My first crush, I honestly don't know. I think I can remember when I was at primary school, I had a crush on this boy called Morgan, who lived on the same like cul-de-sac as I did. He was a lot older than me, but yeah, I kind of think it must have been him, but I can't. Yeah, like he was a lot older than me. Like when I was, oh, he was like an adult driving a car and I was probably 13, but I had a crush on him when I was in primary school. Clearly destined to like the older man. My first celebrity crush is Andrew Lincoln. I was so in love with him, but not as Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. I was actually in love with him as Egg from This Life. Yeah, I was obsessed with Andrew Lincoln at one point. It was a little bit creepy, not gonna lie. My first kiss was with a boy called Ian. Again, he grew up in the same village as me, and it was kind of like in a game, like I think we were playing like mummies and daddies, and my cousin Millie was like the big sister, and his sister was the baby sister, like his sister in real life was the baby sister, and me and him were the mummy and daddy, and yeah, that's how I had my first kiss, and I didn't like it. My first boyfriend was a lovely man, or at the time boy, was a lovely chap called Samuel. We first dated when we were 11, the first year of secondary school, and we kind of dated on and off through the entirety of senior school. Yeah, so like on and off for 5 years, which makes it sound a lot more serious than it was. It wasn't serious, but we just seemed to end up going back out with each other, and we used to write each other little love letters, and it's a little bit cringy thinking, I swing from thinking it was cringy to sweet. But yes, he is a lovely chap. We actually went to our 5th year ball together. But yeah, he lives in Australia now. We're friends on Facebook, and he's very artistic and just a genuinely nice boy, and I'm very glad that he was my first boyfriend, because most of my friends' first boyfriends were horrible. My first date was with Samuel, and we went for a picnic with our friends, or one of my best friends at the time was a girl called Keely, and her boyfriend was really good friends of Samuel, and he was called Aaron, and we went on a picnic in some random field somewhere, and yeah, Aaron bought non-alcoholic wine and non-alcoholic cider, and I think we all got drunk from non-alcoholic wine and cider, and there was a lot of very wet kissing. So yeah, that was my first date. First love would have to be my dad. I know that's really soppy, but yeah, as a little girl, it was like he was my world, and Yeah, so I'm going to say that my first love was my daddy. My first job, obviously I did like the standard babysitting, which I think most people do, but like my first job, like job, I was 15 and I got a little Saturday job in a bakery that had a really cringy name. It was like Fresh and Crusty. It's not there anymore, so it's okay. But yeah, that was my first ever job, and basically I worked on the counter and I served people cakes and pasties, and when I got to 16 I was allowed to take things out of the oven, which now looking back on it is petrifying, because I used to have to stand on a stool on my tiptoes, because it was like one of those giant ovens that had like multiple doors, like multiple layers, and to get them from like the top two ovens I used to have to stand on a stool on my tiptoes reaching in to a really hot oven and pull out pasties. And how I'm not scarred from it I don't know, because there was a boy that I went to school with called Simon. He worked there the same time as me, and his entire right arm is like covered in scars. I think it's now covered in tattoos, but he got burnt just repeatedly from putting his arm in and out of this oven, and luckily I never happened to me. It paid something ridiculous like £2.20 an hour. Yeah, but on a Saturday shift, any cakes or bread or pasties that was left got divvied up between whoever was closing, because they weren't open on a Sunday, so you could take it home basically. So I got a lot of fresh cream cakes and a lot of pasties. First time out of the country would have actually been Scotland technically, because Scotland is a separate country from England. We used to holiday quite a lot in North Yorkshire when I was younger. That's where my dad was originally from. But yes, we went on a day trip from North Yorkshire to Scotland, which is technically another country. My first cell phone was a Nokia, I want to say the 3610, you know, the brick. First car, still not happened. Well, technically, because it came out of the joint account, I own the car that John drives, or I own half of it, but I don't drive, so I've never bought a car for me. First big purchase, don't know what classes as a big purchase. I bought John John's engagement ring was quite pricey when we got engaged, and now that ring lives in a box because he doesn't wear it because he wears a wedding ring. I bought John a Xbox. That was quite a pricey thing, but really I suppose my biggest purchase, or my first big purchase, was our house. Because I never drove, I never had to save up for a car. Everything I kind of bought before that was kind of a thing, but I never really bought anything like over £1,000. No, so yeah, the first like big purchase, first thing I ever bought that cost more than £1,000 would have been our house, and I bought that with John. First person I text today was actually my boss. He was, I can't really tell you. It was a work-related topic. He was in a part of the county that had really bad signal, so I texted him the information or the question that I needed him to answer. So there you go. First YouTube video is still up. Yeah, it's a what's in my bag. It's recorded on my IMAX camera like all of my first videos were. I think it's done in one edit. I don't think I knew how to operate iMovie properly. Like, I think it's done in one cut. I don't think I knew how to work iMovie. Yeah, and from memory, I have a really bad fringe but it's still up. If I remember, I will link it below, and you can go and look at it and give it a thumbs up. I think it got like a whole 12 views, but I kept going. The first person I subscribed to on YouTube, I believe, was Judy Travis. She wasn't called Judy Travis then because she wasn't married, but Judy from It's Judy Time. I love her. I'm still subscribed to her as well. It's really strange. A lot of the people that I was subscribed to like 5 years ago, some of them have stopped doing YouTube, but my tastes have changed quite a lot, so I'm not subscribed to the same people. However, I am still subscribed to Judy, and on both her makeup channel and her vlog channel, because I love Juliana, her daughter, her eldest daughter. It's just, oh, she's so cute. My first Instagram picture, now I don't know, so I'm going to do some quick scrolling. It's from 172 weeks ago. There is no hashtags on it. There's no likes on it, which is quite sad. But it's chocolate cupcakes. I'll insert the pictures somewhere. But yeah, it's a close-up of some cupcakes that I've clearly made and was very proud of. The next one is of an earring, and the next 1, 2, 3, 4, the next 5 is of nail art. Check me out. But yes, so cupcakes. My first Facebook profile picture. Now I've just gone on to the album profile pictures, and there's 211 pictures because I am that vain. Okay, so my first ever profile picture is actually a picture of John holding our godson Michael. It doesn't tell me how long ago that picture was from. John looks like a baby. But the first profile picture of me, ooh, I'll have it on the screen somewhere. It's from our friend Bob and Louisa's wedding. I am clearly drunk, and I have a sailor's hat on, and yeah, well, it's on the screen somewhere. I'm drunk. I think I'm looking suggestive, but that's that. And that is all the questions. This video is probably 1,000,000 hours long. If you have made it to the end, please write below, "It's almost Christmas," just because I like it. I tag anyone that hasn't done this video, but I think the entire world has done it now. I'm officially the last person. Yes. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye guys.